Hey everybody, welcome back to another Roblox Today tutorial. Today we'll be going over TweenService, how to use TweenService, when to use TweenService. So it's just going to be a brief introduction on TweenService. If you already know what TweenService is, please skip ahead so that you can see how we're going to script it. If you don't know what TweenService is, I'll go over it right now. So in a nutshell, what TweenService is in Roblox is tweens are basically used to change between the properties of an instance, and most of these can be this can be used to create an animation for most Roblox objects. So almost every numeric property, any numeric attribute to an object, it can be tweened using tween service. So not every single property can be tweened with tween service. So the types that can be tweened are number, bool value, C-frame, rect, color 3, UDM, UDM2, vector 2, vector 2, int16, vector 3, and enum item. Now, it's a really long list, so today we're only going to be going over the number, which is size, and the position. So we're also going to list down the basics to tween service, basics keywords that I think everyone should know for tween service. So that is tween service create, call it tween service colon create, tween service info, tween service colon pause, tween service play, tween service cancel, and tween service create. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the video. So right over here, what we're gonna start off by creating two parts. One is going to be a so this is going to be the part that we're going to animate, and this will be the part where we're going to set the position to. So you want to go ahead, add two parts, group them together, make sure they're anchored, rename the model to tween model. I have my Explorer open right over here if you want to take a look at that. Then rename the tween part to tween, and then our destination to dest. Now make sure that our destination is can collide off, and then you can set the transparency to 0 if you want. I'll do that right. I'll set it to 0.6. There we go. So now inside of our tween model, we're going to add a script by clicking the plus sign and adding the script. So as I said before, we have the basics to tween service. So we're going to have to get tween service. So to do that, we're going to say local. Up here, we're going to say local tween service equals game colon get service, and then over here we're going to put in a string or two quotation marks, and then we're going to say tween service. So now we just got tween service as a variable. Now we're going to create two variables for our parts. So local tween part equals script dot parent dot tween, and then local dest equals script dot parent dot dest. So now we're actually going to create our function to actually move it. So we have to create our information. So our information really just controls the properties of the tween. Now, when I first started scripting, I thought tween service was really complicated, all because of tween info. But in reality, it's really easy actually. There's only a couple of things that you need to remember. So we're going to say local new info equals tween info dot new, and then as you can see here, we have parentheses. So we're going to click enter, and then we can actually create our tween info. So our first property will be 1, or whatever number you want. This is how long the animation is going to last. So you can do this to whatever number you want. I'm going to go 1, then we're going to do comma, enter, and then we're going to do our using style. So the style will have, basically every, the style has the actual animation. So you can see on the Roblox official developer hub, you can see the tween service easing styles if you want. So I'm gonna go with easing style. So enum dot easing style dot bounce. It's one of my favorites. Then we're gonna do enum dot easing direction. So this is what direction it's gonna go in. Dot in. So in will always make it go forward. Out will make it go in reverse. And in and out will make it so halfway in it's gonna be in, so forward, and the other half it's gonna be reverse. So for now, I think I'm gonna make it in, so forward, and then comma, the repeat count. So if you wanted to move on infinitely, you're gonna do a minus number, anything below 0, a negative number. So I'm gonna do -1, comma, and then the boolean over here is gonna be either true or false. This is true or false. So this is gonna be whether you want it to repeat. So I'm gonna do true, comma, and then we're gonna have our delay, and I'm gonna set that to 0. So now we can actually create our tween. So we're gonna say local tween equals tween service colon create. So now we're gonna pass tween part, so tween part, comma, tween info, or whatever you named it, new info, comma, new info, and then comma, curly brackets. Now we're going to do position, since we're going to be editing position first, position, then equals to, and then we're going to do dest dot position, and then our final piece of code, which is going to be tween colon play. So this will actually play the animation, or the tween. Tween colon cancel will cancel the animation, and then tween colon pause will pause the animation. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the animation. I'm going to click play here, and then it should reverse. Keep reversing, and it'll do the animation. So as you can see, I have this GUI right over here, so it's really red. Actually, I'm gonna turn that off real quick. So I'm gonna turn everything over here to false. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and play the game and see what the animation looks like, our tween looks like. As you can see, with our bounce animation, it will keep bouncing like this until it reaches this part, and it keeps repeating. So I think this is actually a really cool thing, and now we're going to look into why we should use tween service. If you know how to move objects using, C-frame or vector 3, then you know that it may be complicated at sometimes if you want to create an animation like this. So that's why tween service can be extremely helpful, since the system already has a pre-made animation, which could save you a lot of lines of code. So now we're gonna do tween size. So on our destination part, we're gonna bring this in very quickly, and then we're gonna scale it to whatever scale you want. I think this is a good amount. And then I'm gonna bring my tween part, and then I'm just gonna put it up here so it doesn't get. There we go. So now we're gonna go back to our tween, and then instead of position, we're gonna do size. So size, it is case sensitive, so make sure that you have that. And then we're gonna do dest dot size instead of dest dot position. Yeah, and then let's go ahead and test it out. Play. And then as you can see, we have our size. It goes to this part right over here, and it has this nice little bounce animation. So this also works with GUIs. Now, if you want to run a GUI, you need to make sure that you are playing the game and not running it, because unlike parts, parts can actually do tweening when you run the game, unlike GUI. So you need to make sure that you think of that while you're testing a tween. Now we're gonna play with the properties just a bit. Number one, right over here, like I said before, this is how long the animation lasts. I'll set this to 6, and then our easing direction, instead of in, I'll do in and out. There we go. And then we can test out how this would look. So as we play it, so let's play the game. And then as you can see, since we have set the duration to 6, it's now much longer. And in and out, unlike in, it's going both forward and reverse. So that's a really cool thing. It's definitely I think it's definitely a unique. I really think TweenService is unique because it really it lets you control lots of objects very easily. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for a Roblox City tutorial, please comment it. All right, I'll see you guys next time.